The power of silence. Exploring the profound strength in stillness. When noise ceases to speak. I once believed that to live a meaningful life, one had to speak incessantly and assertively. Success seemed to belong to those whose voices echoed widely, dominating the spotlight and attracting countless followers. However, as time passed, experiences of silence began to knock on my life's door. I realized there exists another form of strength, quiet, unassuming, yet enduring and profound. That is the power of silence. We inhabit a world that never stops talking. Social media is replete with words, debates, information, and sighs hidden behind screens. Everyone strives to speak out to affirm their existence. Amidst all these sounds, have you ever felt weary? Have you ever yearned for a space, a moment, where you don't have to respond, prove, or perform anymore? Silence is not retreat. Silence is a way of affirming oneself in a unique manner. Like the ocean, silent yet deep. Like the sun, wordless yet warming the world. Meeting oneself in stillness. One day I decided to leave the city and journey to a highland area. No phone signal, no Wi-Fi, no vehicles, not even human voices. Just me and pristine nature. Waking up to bird song and gentle sunlight filtering through wooden shutters. For the first time in years, I didn't rush to check my phone, read the news, or reply to anyone. I simply sat still. And in those moments, I suddenly heard my inner voice. Emotions long buried surfaced like bubbles bursting on a tranquil lake. Pain, joy, regret, and forgotten dreams all appeared vividly, unobscured by any noise. Silence is not merely the absence of sound, but the presence of authenticity. It reveals what is real, what is false, and what we truly desire to pursue. Silence as the lesson of the experienced. I once witnessed an old friend, once talkative and attention-seeking, become increasingly silent after a major life shock. He lost his beloved mother. When I met him after the funeral, I expected him to pour out his grief, resentment, or guilt. But no, he just sat there, looked at me and said, "I learned to be silent from my mother. When she was in pain, she remained silent to ease others' minds. Now, I want to stay silent, to hear her speak within me." I was choked with emotion. It turns out that after experiencing upheaval, people no longer wish to talk much. They learn that words cannot reach the depths of emotion. Only silence can fully contain pain, loss, and love. The experienced understand the value of pauses. They know that some things lose their beauty when spoken. Silence, as the art of the wise. In a tense meeting at my former company, I once saw a director remain silent throughout, neither rebutting nor showing any emotion. While everyone argued fiercely, he quietly listened. After the meeting, when everything seemed on the verge of collapse, he said only one sentence. "I think we're letting emotions overshadow our goals. Let's take a 15-minute break and then continue." And then, everything calmed down as if by magic. From that moment, I understood. Wisdom is not about speaking much, but knowing when to speak and when to be silent. Silence can be the strength that compels others to listen when we do speak. And sometimes, silence is the most weighty voice in a noisy room. Silence to listen. What we often forget. We always try to listen to others to respond, to react, rarely to understand. Truly listening requires internal silence, silencing judgmental thoughts, silencing the ego. Only in that state can we genuinely connect with the true self of the other person. I once reconciled with a close friend through a meeting where we barely spoke. We just sat together, letting the silences mend misunderstandings. Finally, I held his hand and said, "You know I really value you, right?" He nodded, tears falling. That was one of the rare times we didn't need words to understand each other. Silence, the bridge between humans and the universe. If you've ever sat by the sea at night, you'll understand what it means to hear the sound of silence. It's not the absence of sound, but the presence of sounds that don't require human interpretation. The waves, the wind, the whispers of the universe. In that stillness, you suddenly feel small yet not insignificant. You are part of this vast world, needing no shouting to be acknowledged. You exist, simply, fully, and completely. Meditation, prayer, journaling, solitary walks, all are acts that help us touch our inner silence. There is no right or wrong, no competition. Only you, with yourself, with life, and with the sacred beyond words. Learn to be silent. Silence is not emptiness, but the foundation where the deepest things can sprout. Don't fear silence. Step into it as you would into a garden, where you can find what was lost in the noisy flow of life. Let silence teach you what the world cannot.